All right, this is Dr. Kevin McGovern, and today is the very first coaching call, group coaching call for the subscribers to the Velocity RX Journal. If you are seeing this on social media and you are missing out, don't go to velocityrx.org and look in the arm care products and get yourself signed up for this journal, which includes 2 monthly uh, journal collaborations, articles, whatever you want to call it, that's actual usable, improvable information, and 2 group coaching calls that you can come on and ask any type of question that you would like. So the first journal centered on, I'm going to share my screen here, um, the proximal to distal wall of the body. Now, that's something I certainly didn't make up, but if anyone who has had a child and has seen when the baby mama comes home and you see the first ultrasound, you are going to see the head and a spinal cord. Okay. That's what, so you're going to see this guy here and the spinal cord here. And that's your little child that you put up on the fridge, due in 8 months or whatever it is. Um, and that's important because that's essentially neurological development of the human body. The neurological system is formed first, the brain, the spinal cord, and then we have out to the arms. All right. And that is incredibly important. Okay. Because that is also how we need to move from the spine out. Okay. So what does that mean for pitchers? Well, that means at front foot strike, for instance, if the first move is our arm, we have just violated the proximal to distal law. And we are going to, number one, we're going to lose power, velocity, command, and we're going to get injured. It's just a matter of time. So this case study here, this gentleman has just signed on with me after being at one of these velocity houses that are good marketers. They bring you in with fancy bells and whistles and numbers and we do testing, we do muscle testing, we have all the gadgets that are out there. We got it. We put into the computer and bam, your kid's going to be great. Well, what you can't see here is that right here, okay, we have a partially torn ulnar collateral ligament, okay? And if I'm looking at this gentleman's posture, he's already violating the proximal to distal rule, and I don't even need to see him move to be able to know that. Why? Well, look at his spine. Okay. Does that look, I mean, I know I can't draw straight here, but does that look straight to you? I'll get rid of, I'll clear all the drawings. Okay. And I'll just go down here. Look, we've got a curve here. Okay. And when it gets to here, it starts to curve the other way. Now, is he have scoliosis? No. This is a muscular scoliosis, right? We like to term it, meaning he's got muscle imbalances. So, you know, which shoulder blade is correct, right? He's a right-handed pitcher. Is this one correct? Or is the left one correct? Because they certainly do not look similar. Okay. So let's just bring this into real life example. You are going to take your family on the weekend to the travel ball tournament, and you come out of the house, and one wheel of your car is pointing left, the front left tire is pointing left, and maybe flared out, and the back right tire is flat. Are you getting in that car to drive your family to the travel ball tournament? Absolutely not. Yet, we have a kid here, and this is not this kid's fault, who has blatant asymmetry. He's got a spine. Okay, now he's been going to this place for months. Months. Okay. So they did all their bells and whistles testing, allegedly, whatever that is. And we still have a kid with a mild 2 separate scoliotic curves. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, let's get in the Sears Tower in Chicago, and let's move floors 18 through 20 to the left, and let's move floors 7 through 9 to the right. Are you going to get in that building? Probably not. But the human body is very resilient. We'll do all kinds of things, and it will circumvent this, and this has certainly happened. So we have asymmetry here. So when the arms lift up, we have the scapular humeral rhythm ratio, which is constantly destroyed. So as we move an elevation of our shoulders, our arm this way, our shoulder blade needs to depress and turn into the body this way. And that means that we use the muscles here, the fibers, okay, of our middle, lower trap, and our lat, okay? However, do we see definition here? No, I can put my fingers in underneath here and underneath here. Lot of definition here, overdeveloped. So when I ran this gentleman through my shoulder coordination test of my game test, which is essentially doing a very slow jumping jack, looking for this movement, okay, I got this movement. I got a shoulder blade that went up, okay, that I had a shoulder blade, an arm that went this way, okay, and two elevators cannot occupy the same floor at the same time. So if I'm looking at this kid, he does not throw a baseball until this is fixed. Yet, this kid has paid thousands of dollars. This kid's family has paid thousands of dollars to be at this facility where they allegedly did testing, where they allegedly gave arm care programs, where they allegedly did all this stuff. And this is the result. Okay. It doesn't take a trained eye to see that this and this do not equal. It may take a trained eye to see that there's a little curve here and then a little curve here. Okay. So further testing, we've got back extensors that aren't working very well. So that's going to make our lat, which is here, do double, triple duty to try to stabilize the shoulders and the pelvis at the same time. So what does that mean? Well, the body still knows how it's supposed to move, proximal to distal. It knows it's supposed to start all movement here out to the arm, okay? So when it goes to do that, and we have imbalances all over the place, it's not going to be able to do it very well. And it's going to project energy out to the arm that's not in the correct sequence, that's not in the correct timing. Okay. And what it's going to do, it's going to be either here or both. So, and I looked at this kid's mechanics and they're not that bad. Okay. But his arm was late. Okay. And his lateness isn't caused, everyone's like, oh, it's not always mechanics. No, but it's always proper neurological movement. Always. Because that is the beginning of everything else that's going wrong and right with the human body. So this poor kid now has to deal with, in his junior year, a partially torn ulnar collateral ligament. So let's cross our fingers. Let's hope to God that we can correct this. Okay. And you're going to see a before and after. We're going to, at some point, we're going to correct this. And we're not going to correct it directing traffic. Okay. Or these crazy band exercises. And the band exercises aren't bad, but the band exercises do not correct this unless you start moving from here. And the band exercises I see, everybody's moving from their hand, never from here first. And I never hear anyone say, yep, depress your shoulder blades, hold that, then move your arms. I've never seen that on social media. Okay, I don't want to blow my own horn. I wish other people would say it, because my mission is to save 1 million arms by educating everyone on the proper way to move. You have to move first you have to crawl before we can jump. Pitching is an incredibly difficult sequence of proper neurological movement. Okay. And like I always said, you have a bad golf instructor, you know, your handicap goes up. You have a bad hitting instructor, you go 0 for 21 on the weekend. You have bad pitching information, and we end up with this. Okay. And that's the problem. Okay. Because dad thought he was helping, and he was. He's trying to get his son, and people are going to say, oh, we're great, and we've got this guy in the major leagues, and we've got that guy in major leagues, and this guy, he throws 110, and this and this and this. Anyone with 2 eyes can see that this kid is asymmetrical throughout his entire upper body. Okay. Now, you don't have his feet here, but I'm going to also tell you that his pelvis isn't level. Okay. That's the body blinking red. There's a problem. We need to fix it. Okay. We need to fix the movement first. And no, we don't jam on athletic movement. We fix the neurological sequence of movement first. And then, and only then, do we move on to more complex movement. That is why there are so many injuries in pitching, because everyone's looking at social media, seeing these crazy exercises by people who cannot pass a simple scapular humeral rhythm test. And that's the problem. So please like and subscribe. This video will probably be on YouTube since it's the first one. And again, usable and provable information. You just got it. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next coaching call.